Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Real Sociedad 1, Barcelona 4. Finally, a win for Barcelona in La Liga. They get the campaign up and running. It wasn't easy. They made heavy weather of it, but they got there in the end because of one man, and that was Ansu Fati. What a performance in that second half. And we'll talk about it, of course. But starting off, there was a little bit surprised with the formation that Xavi picked because at first you look at it, you think it's 4-3-3. And I don't like that because then again you're playing Araujo as a right back, and I just don't think he needs to be playing as I've been saying. I don't think he needs to play as right back. The problem is if you don't play him as right back, you've got to play back three because you've got Kunde, Christensen, and Araujo. You can't drop Araujo, and you can't drop either of those two. So you've got to play either you play. I mean, I know Kunde wasn't playing this one was Garcia, but in the future will be Kunde. So the fact is you got to play back three. This is the only way you can fit, or you ask Araujo to play out of position, as a right back. So I think Xavi took the lesser of two evils. He said, okay, I'll play back three, and so he played a back three. But then that midfield kind of looked a little bit lopsided. That front line looked a bit lopsided because then again you've got Dembele playing as the right wing back. Is that his best position? Oh, it's not. Clearly, can he play that position? I don't know. It requires a bit of recheck. And I think it was a 3-4-3, or yeah, it was 3-4-3 in some ways because I think Pedri kind of dovetailed between playing in midfield and then moving out to one side. Ferran went on the other side, on the left side, and Pedri was kind of going right and center. He was kind of doing double duty there. And you had Gavi and Frenkie as your midfield two in some ways. Sometimes a midfield three with Frenkie just sitting in between. But I think for the most part, it was just a very confusing formation to everybody who was watching. And I don't know what Xavi was thinking about it, but I thought it was really confusing to kind of figure out who was playing where. So that's the thing. But they did get the early goal, right? First minute up. I mean, Balde comes in for Alba. He comes in for Alba, and that's a wonderful run. It's a brilliant, nice little diagonal run goes in. It's a wonderful cross, and Lewandowski first minute, breaks his Barca duck. He says, I've had a game where we didn't score 26 shots, no goals. So this is it. We're not waiting that long. We'll go 1 minute, first minute. Lewandowski scores fantastic finish. It's 1-0. The ideal start for Barcelona, but you know what? They couldn't hold on to it. And I tell you what, if this was an audition for Frenkie de Jong to join Chelsea or Manchester United, I think he's failed it. I think he's failed it because he was responsible, of course, for the goal. When he gave the ball away, I think Takefusa Kubo did absolutely brilliant where he won the ball back, lays it off to Silva. Silva lays it off to Isak. Takes a deflection, it was a wonderful goal. But that wasn't the only error that Frenkie de Jong did. And he had another moment where he lost the ball as well, but ran with it and lost it, and almost gave away a chance where. I mean, could have been catastrophic, really, but it did. Sociedad didn't take advantage of it, so could have actually conceded two because of his error, but only ultimately it was only one. But that it is to me, it shows an issue with Young. I think he needs maybe it will work at Manchester United if he plays alongside Casemiro, maybe. But I don't think it will work at Chelsea. I think Chelsea probably will be out of the race. But there are flaws in his game. He's not. I don't think he's worth the money that Barcelona are asking. And I think if this was an addition to say I'm worth that money, I think he's failed it. But I mean, the circumstances are different. I don't want to spend too much time on that. But I don't think he had a good game overall. I think he was kind of overshadowed in that passenger. It makes sense why he doesn't start. I don't think he should start ahead of Gavi and Pedri anyway. But I don't think he made a case for himself to be a starter for Barcelona. But anyway, the first half actually Sociedad were the better team. I thought they were the better team, and they really should have had a second goal. I mean, there's so many chances where they were in good positions, but they really couldn't make it count. I mean, there was a run from Isak. He makes a nice little pass to Silva. Silva should score, but Marc-Andre the second pulls off a fantastic save to deny him. There were a couple of Kubo got into a couple of good positions, but he couldn't quite, get that touch, the final touch. I think Isak also played a nice little ball to Mikel Merino. Merino should have scored. He also didn't score. So lots of opportunities that Sociedad passed up. You can't do that against Barcelona. You can't. When you're on top against Barcelona, you've got to make that count. You've got to get yourself a goal or two, whatever chances you have to make them count, because otherwise Barcelona will punish you. And they had the ball in the net. So say that they had the ball in the net. It was called offside because Lenormand was offside. Was he offside? It's one of those where if the goal had stood, that would not have been overturned. The goal would have stood. If the goal was given, it would have stood. Because he gave it an offside, the referee's got to think of a position of why is it not offside? Why am I overturning it? And so that I think is that I don't think there was a case for it to be overturned. So I think that stood. If it had been given as a goal, I think it was stood as a goal. That's the way it would work. But was it the right decision? I don't think it was the wrong decision. I think it was the right decision. I think he does interfere with play there. So I think that was the right decision from VAR to stick with the on-field decision from the ref, which was giving an offside. But then Fati comes on, then Raphinha comes on, and that changes the game completely because Raphinha moves over to the right. We saw it last time, and I said this. I said Raphinha cannot play on the left. You're not going to play. You can't play Raphinha on the left. He has to play on the right. And the Xavi, I'm not saying he listened to me, but he saw it and he played him on the right. Dembele moves to the left, but Fati was the game changer. I mean, what a player. I mean, we've talked about him for so long. He's a sensational player. Injuries have kind of held him back, and I hope this season he can finally recover and find his form, because at his best, he's an absolutely mesmerizing player. He made the whole difference. He came in, sucks in a player, then plays a nice little back heel to Dembele. Dembele says, "Thank you very much." It's a wonderful finish from him to make it 2-1. Immediately makes it becomes 3-1 again. Fati slipping in with Lewandowski. Lewandowski with a nice finish, makes it 3-1. 2 assists all of a sudden for him, and he doesn't finish stop there. Then he gets a nice little pass himself and scores and makes it 3-1. Two assists, 1 goal. Fati completely changes the complexion of the game for Barcelona. And I think he should start. I think he should be a starter. The problem for Barcelona is there's so many attacking options right now. You can't play everyone. So he's got to pick out who's going to play where, because I just have this issue. If Fati is going to play as a left winger, then you're going to have to play Dembele. I mean, Dembele's got to play at the right. The good thing about Dembele is he can play right, he can play left. Doesn't matter where he plays. If you play Dembele on the right, you've got to play Fati on the left. Because you've got to play Fati on the left. Either he's got a striker left or on the left. I think he's probably going to play on the left. But then where does that leave Raphinha? Where does that leave Ferran Torres? Is it paid big money for these guys? You can't just put them on the bench. And so you're going to have situations where I think Dembele might have to play out of position, Raphinha might have to play out of position. That's what's going to happen. And I think how he tweaks that formation is going to be interesting. I don't think the back three worked. To be honest, I don't think it worked. It worked because Fati came on. And the reason why it works with Fati is because Fati has his ability to find space, and he has his ability to know exactly where the ball is going to be, when it's going to be. And it works when he's on the pitch. Without him, I don't think they have that same sort of impact. If he hadn't come on, I don't think Barcelona would have won that game, to be honest. They definitely wouldn't have won it as emphatically as the scoreline suggests, but I don't think they would have won it. And the reason why they won it is because of Fati. So, but Fati can't play every game, right? So how do you adapt to that? How do you adjust to that? And I think that's going to be the issue for Barcelona going forward. Is I think they'll have to play a back three just to accommodate all the different pieces that they've bought. They'll have to play a back three. But the problem is, I don't think a back three suits this team. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I think in that second half, Barcelona were the better team, and they deserved their win, no doubt about it. They played really well, and I'm just, you just gotta say that, and you say, well done, Fati. You gotta say, well done, Lewandowski as well. 2 goals. He's finally broken his Barcelona attack. Hopefully, he can now go on a run, because Barcelona do need him to fire as well. Because when he's on a song, that they needed a striker like him. Now they've got him, and they've just got to make sure that they get the best out of him. So they'll be happy with the 2 goals as well. I think Sociedad will be disappointed. Like I said, it's so many opportunities, but they get spurning them. What will annoy the Alguacil is the fact that Sociedad, the thing is, it was all about one player. One player comes on, and the system didn't change. But what happened is that player coming on, it kind of confused Sociedad. They couldn't come to grips with what he was doing. And I think that would disappoint also, because it wasn't like Barcelona were playing, attacking, football, and Sociedad were kind of hanging on. They were actually on the front foot for large parts of that game. They just didn't make their superiority count. And when the changes were made, they just couldn't adapt to those changes in time. So that, I think, is what will disappoint Alguacil a bit. But I think Sociedad showed a lot of quality on the ball. Hopefully they can achieve some good things this season as well. They need that. They need to be the league needs competition. I think if they can maintain their form, I think they could do good things as well. So that's something there. I think from Barcelona's perspective, I think Xavi will need to look at how he's going to integrate the pieces. I think that will be the question. But that's a question for you guys. How can Xavi integrate the team better? What kind of formations and tactics can he use to get the best out of this team and get the best out of the players that they've got now? Let me know in the comments. Always happy to hear from you guys and get your thoughts on the game. So do share that. Smash like for Fati. My man of the match. I know some people might give someone else, but I'm gonna, maybe they'll give to Lewandowski. But for me, it's Fati. It's gotta be Fati. Changed the game. Came on, completely changed the game, completely turned the tide. So I don't think I can go. I can't look any further than that. So smash like for Ansu Fati, of course. Do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. We appreciate your support. To everyone who's been subscribing and following, thank you so much for doing that. And we want more people to do that. There's of course a lot of videos coming up. We've got some games tomorrow as well, so we'll be doing match reactions for that. So when you subscribe, you do get notified as they drop, and you can make sure that you don't miss a single video. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.